gave him the old SIM card, the number that you gave to Guy Shea. The Guy Shea says that you got and told him to do maximum damage. Well, now you're trying to do maximum damage. Don't you call my son and tell him that he's adopted. How dare you? How dare you do such a thing? You are a miserable piece of shit. You've crossed over the line. Don't you ever make contact again. You've been warned.
Oh, I posted some things on Facebook today, I guess in case y'all don't know what they are. I posted, what did I post? I posted, a few things. See, now why isn't Spreaker... Oh, no, it's not, why, never mind. Just forget what I just said. Okay, here it is. I posted, I'm scrolling down. It says, Debi Daly, 1 hour ago from Spreaker. Some things we do on here are funny. I've said that often. This is not. This will be dealt with, and that I promise you all. The One Angry Jew has teamed up with Angela Utley, and they are doing this just as she did as a ploy to not only destroy my reputation, also my show. This is not considered funny. Who involves children? It would appear that not only this show host, but its listeners. Shame on all of you. And then I said, my hand to God and on the lives of both of my children, the Jew is lying. This is not cute slander. Anyone who believes this cruel and awful man is just as bad as he is. And the reply was from DJ Bad Guy, fuck off, cunt. And it just set Facebook on fire. There were a lot of people that were replying to it and saying, this is bullshit. I think that was when, there's 6 replies there. A lot of people said, I won't tell you what who they were, but somebody said, this is not cool, Debbie. Stay strong. Not at all. Until I get full evidence of this alleged event, then I don't believe it happened. The burden of proof is always on the angry goofball. Innocent until proven guilty. And then there was another reply. It says, and the other guy said, agreed. And then they talked about something else. And then Audrey said, these people are horrible. These people are, wait a minute. Audrey said, these men are obsessed assholes and they're jealous bastards. Yeah, they're horrible. And then I said, I don't know how many of you that will read this have heard the nasty slander going on my network about me, but I will say this. My hand to God and on the life of my son and daughter, the One Angry Jew is lying about me. And Strope answered, fuck that cheap Jew. He did 9/11. That was a minute ago. Strope. And he's the head of the BWC, for those of you who don't know. Then I talked to a lot. There's been people that are hitting me up all day long about this. Everybody is just really bothered by it. It's just so shitty, you know. I had one gentleman that I'm friends with said, I won't tell you who he is, but I'll tell you some things that he said. He said, what can I do to help? He said, you're really good at what you do. I'm proud of you, the way you deal with things like this. You're very brave. It must be very hard for every day to deal with this bullshit. You need so much energy. I said, you have no idea. He goes, why didn't you call me or text me? I'm always here for you. I know, and I can feel your pain right now. You've got nerves of steel. He said, what are you going to do next? I said, I don't know. He said, what can I do to help? He says, well, we have to think of a way to give them a taste of their own medicine. I said, sorry, but to fight a snake, you have to get on the ground. I just want him to leave me alone. That's all I want. He says, she's the root of the problem, Angela. I said, yep, 100%. He says, we need to find out what her motive is and how they are thinking. And then I won't tell you the rest of himself, what he said, because he was coming up with some ideas on how to deal with it. You know, a lot of people just say ignore it, and I probably should just ignore it. And basically I am ignoring it in a way because I'm not really doing anything about it. I'm not like going and doing anything about it. But I will say this. One of the people that I talked to today through Facebook said that to falsely accuse somebody... Hold on. Hello?
I still can't hear you, Debbie.
Oh,
let me work
man.
on it.
All right, Angel, bye. Bless his heart. I did talk to this one guy, or this one guy talked to me today on Facebook. A pretty popular guy on Spreaker, and he said, Debbie, you do realize that it's against the law to falsely accuse somebody of a felonious act. And I said, I thought it was. And I said, but isn't that when you go and file charges on them and it's false? He said, no. That's filing a false police report. And I said, oh, okay. He said, when you broadcast that somebody is a pedophile or that somebody is doing this stuff and you know it's wrong, you know it's a lie, excuse me, that's really, really, really against the law. And I didn't look it up, but I did look up something else. I looked up, it says a false accusation is an unfounded, unsubstantiated allegation made against a person. A false allegation can occur as a result of intentional lying or on the part of the accuser, or unintentional or resulting from deliberate or accidental suggestive questioning. That doesn't apply. It says false allegations can be broken down into 3 categories. Number 1, an allegation about an alleged event that did not occur. Number 2, an allegation that describes events that did not occur but were perpetrated by an individual who is not accused, in which the accused person is innocent but being blamed. Or an allegation that a party is partly an allegation that is partly false, but the person's account of the facts implicated the accused person wrong. See, here's what I'm thinking. If, in fact, somebody did call this man's child, and here's why I know it didn't happen. Because he got upset with me because I showed him for what he was on my show. All I did was just played his show. That's all I did. I played his show from 7 years ago, and it pissed him off because it made him look like the idiot that he is. And that's my personal opinion, that he's an idiot. Anybody that would do the things he does has got to be an idiot. I mean, I have let that man on my show so many times. I have put up with his bullshit. It says you can sue for false accusations made by the person. The effect of false accusations affects a person's reputation because they are either falsely accused of a crime or falsely accused of an act that didn't take place. Common types of false allegations include sexual abuse, child abuse, drug use, or a commission of a crime. A person can sue under the tort of defamation, which may either be in the form of slander, libel, or defamation of character. Slander is untrue words spoken orally with the purpose of harming an individual's reputation. And that's what we've got right here. And the guy that I talked to actually is on Spreaker, and he said, Debbie, you've got an absolute textbook case of defamation of character. Because I don't know how well you people know me, but on the lives of my children, may they drop dead. I told Sonny today, I said, may Jet bleed out in the street if I'm lying to you. I didn't do this. I didn't call his fucking kid. The last thing I said about Jonathan is how cute he was and how he looked so much like the Jew. The Jew showed me a baby picture of himself, and I said, oh my God, you look just like Jonathan. I've always been sweet to Jonathan. Always been sweet to him. I think he's precious. All I've ever told him is that he's intelligent, he's wonderful. This is all coming from Angela Truth. Okay, that's all it is. Because the interesting thing about it is if you listen, and Victor did listen with me. He let me listen to the guy's show. He was with me when I listened to it. And he said, if you'll notice, about every 4 minutes, the one angry Jew says, now this validates Angela's claim from years ago. I guess now we know she was telling the truth. And then again he goes, and since she called my son, this validates Angela's story from years ago. I guess we know she was telling the truth. And then he says it again. This validates, in fact, bring Angela on the call and let's hear her story. And then she goes into that old song and dance of, hold on, see who this is. They even pulled Mr. Midnight Movie in on the call, but he refused to talk shit about me.
I have to...
Hello?
I might just have to
Hello?
Call this experiment off. I'm really disappointed now. I can't hear Debbie.
I'm here. Can you not hear me?
I've
Alan.
done all of my
he can't
volume
hear me.
Switches up and everything else.
I don't know what to tell him, love baby. I mean, that's just horrible. I don't know how to do it. Are you doing the online console? Anyway, I don't know what he's doing. I could probably help talk him through it. But where was I at? Where was I telling you guys? Oh, and then she starts that same old bullshit she's been doing since 2011 where she called my minor children, which that's become a meme practically. It says a person can sue under the tort of defamation, which may be either in the form of slander, libel, or defamation of character. Slander is untrue spoken words orally with the purpose of harming an individual's reputation. It must be proven that the individual made the statements maliciously to harm the reputation of a person for their own personal reasons. Well, duh. I could line people out the courtroom that would say that. It must be proven that the individual made the statements maliciously. We already said that. When libel, that's another thing that's printed. I've already screenshotted all of his chats. I've screenshotted everything. Because let me tell you something. If this bastard has as much money as he thinks he does, and I take a case against him and I win it, guess who's going to get it? Every one of the listeners of mine on Spreaker.
I am the late night President Todd Morris, and I approve this podcast.